the way it works is right after your first term, you have internship interviews. So I got placed actually within the first 3 months of my MBA. But I would say the placements at IIMs can be a bit challenging sometimes. You are in with a very smart set of people. So I worked at JP Morgan in Bombay on their corporate, the division was corporate investment banking.
Tell us, how was your placements at IIM Indore? What was that experience like? Being a gold medalist at IIM Indore, did that make things easier for you?
So yes and no. No, because when I was placed, I did not have the gold medal. So I was the first person from my batch to be placed for a summer internship.
You did have the gold medal, right? You were the topper of your...
At the end of it.
Last week.
Yes. I mean, for the full 5 years, but by the end of it.
Okay.
Because the way it works is right after your first term, you have internship interviews. And at that point, you don't even have the result of your first 3 months. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I mean, everyone's going in blind. So I had my interview with JP Morgan, and they decided, they thought I was good enough. So they hired me. So I did an internship there, which converted to a job. So I got placed actually within the first 3 months of my MBA. I was in that way, I was a bit lucky.
So within the first 3 months of your 5-year MBA program?
So the 2-year MBA program. So the first 3 years were just undergrad.
Okay. So you got placed the first 3 months of a 2-year MBA program?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So you got the summer internship, and when you went into the summer internship, you got the pre-placement offer?
Correct.
Okay.
So I must have done a few things okay. So they decided to give me an offer. So that happened. But I would say the placements at IIMs can be a bit challenging sometimes, because you're also competing with, it's a given that you'll find a job. So I don't think that's a challenge. But why it can be challenging? You're, for the first time in life, often for many people, you are in with a very smart set of people who are very good, sometimes even better. And for me, I mean, I'll give you maybe an anecdote. When I walked in to IIM, for my first year undergrad, the very first day I met a few people. I met this girl who had topped class 10th. So all of us were school toppers. She had topped class 10th at an India level. And then I meet this other guy. We get books to, the course is going to start, say, day after tomorrow. The next morning I wake up and he's like, oh yeah, I mean, have you read it? I said, no, I mean, the course is only going to start in 3 days. He said, yeah, I already read it and I made some notes. So I met this guy. So when you meet people of that caliber, you realize that, boss, you are not the only one. Everyone who's come here has come here from...
This guy who had read the book before the course started, because in my experience, none of these guys end up working out in the long run.
He's still a very good friend. Thankfully, he did not graduate with a gold medal. I did. That's where I was talking about. I will say more about this guy. He's a dear friend.
So let me get this. So you grow up in a middle-class family in Jodhpur, want to be a chartered accountant, go to Bombay, leave in 3 months, come back, do 1 year of articleship, do 1 year of CSCS, don't like it, go to IIM Indore. In the first 2 years of your MBA program, that is after 3 years of being undergrad, you get accepted into JP Morgan. You end up... So where did you work in JP Morgan? JP Morgan Mumbai or?
So I worked at JP Morgan in Bombay on their corporate, the division was corporate investment banking. And there again, actually, I worked only for I think less than 3 months, and I quit. The place was really good. I have highest regard for JP Morgan. I think they were the best when it comes to running a shop of that size and that quality. Big hats off, massive respect to them. But again, I realized that wasn't interesting enough for me. I wanted to do something that was more social impact driven. And so I moved to a firm called Dalberg, which is a top tier firm on providing strategy consulting, but purely for social impact. So I joined their Bombay team, and the team was less than, I think, 40 people. Less than 40 people. In 2016 is when I joined them.
So Kapil, I'm very curious. You quit the firm that gave you a PPO. You had like 2 or 3 months of your summer internship. You had the whole second year to think about it. Why did you even join them? I mean, it would have been clear in your summer internship, wouldn't it?
Wasn't really. So I'll tell you why. Because of two reasons. One, I think when you're young, there is a certain sort of element of prestige that comes with jobs like JP Morgan, which, I mean, at the age of 22 years, that prestige meant a lot to me. There's also compensation that comes with jobs like that, which is very interesting and not easy to give up. For me, the switch happened when I did a program for student exchange in France as a French government scholar. And I had also done a rural immersion program, which was a part of our internship, where we went to a district called Mandsaur in India.
And was this your second year MBA or fifth year of IP math thing?
So the rural immersion program was in my first year of MBA, and second, the student exchange program was in the second year of my MBA. Now, if you combine both of those experiences, one, I saw really what India was like. I think many of us don't have a sense of the kind of challenges that people face in India. I mean, I met women who were still walking 4 or 5 kilometers a day to just get water. And that to me just, there's a switch in my brain that just said, like, how is that even possible? It's 2015 or 2014, it should not happen. And then when I came here to France, I met many young people and people from all around the world, where in India, there's a lot of competition. You want to do ABC, you want to hit those milestones by a certain age. And then I was seeing, people are a lot more relaxed. I'm like, okay, I want to pursue my interest. I want to do something that I want to do. So that if you add those two elements, I knew I wanted to do something that was in the social impact space. And then I also thought, that whole element of status, etc., is not that relevant. I'm still too young to think about those things. So that's why I'd taken that job, because I'd said yes to them. So I'd started. But when I started, I just realized this is not where my heart is. So I thought quitting early on is good for them. It's good for me, rather than me staying on for long and making it worse for both sides.